Hey again, gang. So what we're going to do is I'm going to walk you through Project 2, the ePortfolio. I've got the checklist up here um, for you to look at. And so what we need to do is, once again, you need to be signed into your kges.ca email. Okay, and then what we're going to do is what I would suggest is that you go to your classroom folder, and then inside there you'll see your computers 170 folder, and in there what I would suggest for you to do is, if you've got an assignments folder like me, that's great, and if you don't, that's okay too. But for the ePortfolio, what I suggest is that you create a new folder called ePortfolio. Okay, and that is where we are going to put in all of our artifacts, or documents if you want to call them that, but artifacts is kind of the technical term. So where we're going to put all our artifacts for our ePortfolio. Okay, and then they'll all be in one place and we'll know where they are, and then you don't have to look around for them. Okay, so I'm going to create that now. And then inside that ePortfolio folder, so now I'm going to double click it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the new button again, and I'm going to go more, and then I'm going to scooch down to Google Sites. Okay. And again, you may or may not get this message. Again, I'm creating inside a shared folder, so I get that message. So regardless of what, I got to click that anyways. All right. And then you are going to get this document. All right, now that we're on this page, the very first thing we should do is give our site a name. So I'm just going to call it ePortfolio, and then I'm just going to put in my name for now, okay? And then I'm going to hit enter, and when I hit enter, the site's name will update as well, okay? And so that is our first step. All right, so I think what we'll do is we'll just work on our first page first, and that would be this step here. So we're going to create our welcome page, and here are the things that we need to have in it. So what we'll do first of all is we are going to change our page title to say welcome. Okay, now we're not stuck with this black background. So after we type in welcome, so you just click in here and you just type it in, okay? We're going to go over to themes, and we're going to click on themes, and Google gives you a very small list of themes that you can choose from, and there's a couple of reasons for that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause my video. Well, actually, I'll just show you. You can just grab any theme you want. You can choose colors, different colors that you want, or there's other ones that you could grab down there. You can choose a font style, and for me it doesn't matter which one you choose, as long as it's professional looking, and it really doesn't, Google doesn't really give you much of a choice in that. Okay, so you can choose your theme, and then one of the first things that's going to happen on this page is that we are going to add a picture of ourselves. So I'm just going to pause for 1 second. I'm going to bring up a different ePortfolio so you can see kind of what it would look like. All right, so here's kind of, this is what I did with my education students, but this is kind of what your front page should look like, okay? You need a picture, again, a kind of a professional picture of yourself. And then you need a short description, sort of telling a little bit about you, and maybe a little bit about what your site's going to be. And you also need an email link and a quote. And if we go to the portfolio or the checklist thing, it shows you all of those things on there. So let's work on each element individually. So first of all, what you need to do, or what you should have, is you should have in your ePortfolio folder that we created over here, there'd be a great place to put a picture. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the Insert menu, and you can see here that it gives us a number of different choices of what we can insert, and I want to insert an image. And then it's going to say from where. Well, I know that I have this image in my Google Drive, so I'm going to click on it. Now I don't have it in that ePortfolio folder yet, but I'm going to move it there right away. So in my About folder, I know I have one in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this one right here. And so then I've added a picture of myself on there. And then the other thing that we need to do is I want to put a text box. So I'm going to click the text box tool, but I want to bring that text box up here. So what I'm going to do, just to cheat, is I'm going to copy this text here, and I'm going to put it in this text box here. And then what I want to do is I want to move that up here. Okay, so everything is kind of drag and drop with Google Sites, and I'm just going to adjust my picture using the little blue handles so that it's about the same size as my text box. And then in the checklist, I have to put in a quote. So I'm going to add another text box down here, just like in this finished site. So I'm going to add a white line, or a horizontal line in between after I add my quote. So I'm just going to cheat again, grab one of my favorite all-time quotes and put it in here. Okay, and then I want to insert a divider. Okay, and then the only thing I would have to do here then is just move it up. Okay, so like in pretty much everything that we do, we want to go to the eyeball view and take a peek at what it's going to look like for a person viewing it. Okay, so I think that looks pretty good and pretty clean. One of the things that it says in the checklist is that it must fit on one screen only, no scrolling up or down or side to side to see what's on that page. And what I mean by that is in here you can see that it does move, but I shouldn't have to scroll down to see anything. Everything that you want to show and everything that you want to say on this welcome page, this kind of landing page, has to be on one page where there's no scrolling. Now, there is sort of some exceptions to that rule. Now, right now, Google Sites gives you the three options of how to view it. One is as a full large screen computer, on a tablet, or on a phone. And that's why when we went back to when we were here and we had themes, that's why Google limits your themes, because then they're able to control how your page will look on any device. Okay, so this again is a full large screen computer monitor. This is what my site would look like on a tablet. Now, of course, obviously then it's going to scroll, and here's what it would look like on a smartphone as my site. So again, that rule about no scrolling only applies in the large screen view. Okay, so I'm going to make these videos 10 minutes long, and I'm at that limit right now. So I'm going to stop it, and I'm going to call this one Part 1 video. Okay.